or his feathers. I want to brush his feathers. He's so cute and adorable. And look at those eyes. Oh, it's Padded Cell. This is going to be great.
Oh, it so is.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the mic.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello.
You know what? Hello to everybody. And I just want to point out, you see all those people that are in there? They're not here tonight. You have to deal with me and wonderful Dr. Friday. Oh, lucky you.
Yes. And am I the only one that was going through the Wicked Effects commercial thinking, I need to get that one for a Christmas present. I need to get that one for a Christmas present and that one for a Christmas present for family members.
I just talked to him yesterday and I'm going to send him something. And as soon as he gets it done, Chainer's Field of Screams is going to go ahead and they're going to have a pin. It's a 3D printed smiley face pin. And on the back is going to have the little two tacks that you can put on a shirt or you can put on a hat or whatever you want to do. We just don't know how we're going to do them. And then we were talking, why not Chainer's Haunted Secrets pin? I bet you we could do the owl.
I want both. I want both so bad. Why are we here? We don't know. But it's a good place to talk.
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and I have a new cemetery behind me, Pile.
Ooh. That's
local.
nice. Local to you or local to me?
Local to me. My father-in-law's buried there.
Oh, okay. My local cemetery, unfortunately, got a new resident. He was a dear friend of mine, and I was actually off of the podcast for a little while due to the fact of I was handling the whole situation. And boy, when we talk about death, I said it once, I'll say it again. It can be such a roller coaster of emotions. I'm okay. No, I'm not okay. This and that. But as you guys see me right now, you guys are going to notice I'm looking down. It's because I'm looking at my phone. And the reason I'm looking at my phone is I'm going to go ahead and do what a lot of people should do here. I'm going to go and I'm going to share this because we're live right now. And I just shared that on my Facebook. That way, everybody can see our happy family of different people in all the wonderful shows, right?
Yeah, dude. Owl Light Network. Everywhere. Find us. But anyway, let's talk about happy things. What utensil are you? Because personally, I'm a fork and life is soup. That is not my thing.
Timmy!
Let's try that again.
There you
I
go.
am.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. That did not work out. And the beautiful thing is, we're live. We do 90% of the shows live. So when we screw up, it's fun for all ages. Even though this is supposed to be a mature show, but we're very immature. Hey, look.
People,
yeah,
go find Bro Pro. Watch Tom Dog. He has awesome shows. He shares all types of videos where he tries new things out and he tells you about them. And he also has great shows where he talks about wrestling, movies, other celebrities, and fills you in on stuff.
Awesome. You know, I'm going to be honest. I have not been able to sit down with my chaotic schedule. Chaotic. I have not been able to sit down and watch anything from him. Not because I don't want to, just because I have only 24 hours in a day, and there's so much that goes on. I mean, here we are getting our haunted field ready, and we will talk about that on this Friday, because this Friday it is going to be Chainer's Haunted Secrets episode. We're hoping our guest gets a hold of us pretty soon, because I feel like he forgot. But you know what? No matter what, we'll have a great show. And he's probably going to text me right now, hey, my ears are burning. But that would be awesome. But yeah, here on the Padded Cell, we don't have a script. We barely have a thought, right, Jenny?
I don't think we have a general script on any show.
Well,
we do a whole lot of
have a
preparation.
format.
We have an idea of how we want the show to go. And
Right.
on like unprinted pages, I have 5 questions every guest gets asked about, and all the other stuff is all the prep. I find out about the guests, and then I ask questions about what they do.
Right. And I can't tell you enough how much I love doing the Padded Cell, because we can actually talk about a whole bunch of different things, and good things, bad things, things that we think is very curiosity killed the cat. And we also always want to tell people, hey, we care about you and you're always cared about. And that's why we always absolutely, if you ever get the thought ADD moment, had a spider web come and attack me. It wasn't a spider, just a web. It's okay.
That's also
because,
why we
you
have
know,
like shows like Corpse Garden Chronicles.
Yeah, exactly. But no matter what, just remember there's plenty of people out there. There's a whole support system. When you think you're down, you're not out. Trust me, been there, done that. But tonight, I talked to Dr. Friday over there, and when we were talking about different stuff, boy, this year has been a fun year. Hello? This year's been a really fun year for me since starting the Owlite Network. And I've got some stories of some people that I have flat out had a wonderful experience with. Something's happened. And as soon as I can, I tell them, man, I can't wait until I get a chance. I'm going to put this on the podcast. And these stories have been around for a couple of months. And some of these stories just happened yesterday because, you know, when you have a whole bunch of stuff going on at a convenience store and your brain starts getting jumbled, you never know when somebody is going to absolutely look at you and say, I can't wait until all the customers are gone. I mean, I can't wait until my kids are gone, because her kids were actually in the convenience store. But yeah, I actually was told yesterday, I can't wait until the customers leave. What's up? Mr. Pyle. Oh my gosh. Mr. Pyle was not my father. Mr. Pence is my father. But yeah.
Hey, Jody.
Hey.
I sent you a message.
Jody sent me a message?
No, I sent Jody a message.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait. I see Mr. Pyle. I don't see anything else marking me. But I love you, Jody, no matter what. Jody, you're a wonderful person. Sean, you're a wonderful person. Unless it's Crystal, then Crystal's even better than Sean. There is a whole love triangle with the Sean and the Raz and the Brandon. I can never find myself in there, but you know what? I'm a fan on Crystal. She's got my heart. But yeah, so
beautiful.
Dog. Not quite sure. Is that a fancy word for ha ha ha, or is that telling me I'm a hog?
I have no idea. It looks ha 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 hag. So
Hag.
it could be me that's the hag.
Oh no. You know what? I look more like a hag than you do. Maybe a hagfish. So yes, the answer is yes. I am a hag right there. Oh, ha 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 ha. Oh, you gotta correct yourself faster than I can respond to you. But so yeah, I got a couple of stories that I wanted to share with everybody, and just and I was telling Dr. Friday off the air, me and my son, we go out once in a while, and when we do, boy, do I try packing so much fun and entertainment into one outing, one dinner, one meal, because I don't have him all the time. And he told me if I ever tell people who I am and who he is, he would be so embarrassed. I told him, I said, you know what? I should embarrass the heck out of you one day, but not tonight. So anyway, me and Budsy was going to Applebee's. And when you're at Applebee's, they have the jukebox. You ever seen the jukebox in there? And they have the jukebox. What? Where'd that come from?
You're gonna have to mute us in the background, Jody.
No, they have the jukebox. What? Oh, there. All right. So anyway,
Stephen, you can join us. And hi,
yeah, we got
Jody.
room.
Welcome to the show. See, she does not look bad. She looks gorgeous.
I never said you looked bad. I think you look fantastic. You do?
Cute.
Thank you. I said she invited me on, and I said I look like absolute shite.
Shite.
Thank you.
Shite. So, anyway, so back to this story. We went to Applebee's, and Applebee's actually has a jukebox. And if you guys don't know, there's a wonderful app on here that a lot of places have this jukebox, and you can buy credits and you can play songs. Well, they're constantly playing music. So I decided that I was going to play Lollipop, the old 70s song. And then, yep. And then I played, hello, this is the Big Bopper speaking. I played that song too. And it just seemed like everybody in Applebee's was really enjoying it. Well, we got done eating and looked at the waitress. I said, hey. She goes, yeah. I said, how much do you like the Muppets? She looked at me and she goes, the Muppets? I don't think I remember the Muppets too much. I said, oh, I feel like you should say that you're a big fan of Muppets. And she goes, okay. I'm a big fan of the Muppets. I said, great. I'm glad that you said that. She walked away. We stood up. I looked at Jay and I said, one more song for the road, right? And he goes, yeah. Okay. What song are you going to play? We walked outside and then he could hear it. The great Gonzo starts singing from the Muppets, Bohemian Rhapsody. When he started singing that, Jaden looked at me and goes, they're going to hate you. I said, not as bad as they're going to hate me after this song. He goes, why? I said, it's Barbie Girl on repeat 3 times. So if you happen to ever go to a Waffle House or you go to a Applebee's or you go to places like this and you got a little extra scratch in your account, entertain yourself by watching the random people go, what is on the radio? And you know what? Those people control their jukeboxes. If they don't want that song to be played, they'll get rid of it. So if you find it, you can play it. They want you to play that song. They just don't realize how irritating some of the songs are. Do you know how many people after Meatloaf died, how many people played his song, I'll Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That, on repeat? And by the way, that song is, I believe, a 7-minute song. I can look it up. But if you do it for on repeat, I would unplug that machine. I'm just saying. So, but like yesterday, I told Dr. Jenny that I wanted to tell some stories about going to restaurants, going to places, because I can be irritating or I can be fun. But some of the things that have happened has been absolutely wonderful. Me and Raz, Dr. Raz, went to it was when we went to Jungle Gyms. Do you remember us talking about that? So
Yep.
We went to Jungle Gyms. We didn't just go to one, we went to 2. And on the way home, I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. We're going to eat. And we stopped and we were going to go to this one place called Roadies or something like that. I wasn't quite sure what it was. I thought it was like a Arby's or something like that, but I didn't want to stop at that as soon as I seen that there was a Red Robin's. And if you've ever been with me at Red Robin's, I will do everything I can to entertain that waiter or waitress. Because if I can get them to break and actually have a great time, I know that they're going to remember that customer, because there's a lot of customers that go into places like that and they're just like, serve me the food, get the stuff on. I just want to be gone. I want this good food, but I don't want, yeah. Oh no, not me. When you come up to my table, the first thing that you say is, what can I get you? And I will respond with a good therapist. Or, how can I help you? Are you certified to talk to me about my mental health today? And these are the things how I start our wonderful conversations at a restaurant. If you get me, I am sorry. If I've got a group of people with us, it doesn't matter. If it's just me and my son, it doesn't matter. My daughter has learned it's going to come, because she made a comment when the waitress looked at her and goes, well, you're a little cutie. What would you like? And she said, to talk about my emotional distress. And coming out of a 6-year-old, that is great. I loved it. I was so proud. That was like a happy daddy moment in our wonderful life that we live, because you got to have fun. You do. Well, we went in, we had a great time at that restaurant, joked with the waitress, and she was just trying to be busy, trying to get stuff done. But when we left, this is why it is so rememberable. It was a hot day, one of the first really hot days of the year here in Ohio. And there was 2 greeters. When you go into a Red Robin's, They will have this little table there. The greeter will look at you and say how many, and they'll mark down what table they're going to send you to. That's just how they do it. One is standing there just talking about all the things that somebody did or her boyfriend or whatever, was not catching my ear. What caught my attention was the other girl that had her head slammed down on that desk or that table or whatever. Slammed. When I looked at her, I said, "Are you okay?" And she goes and she picks up her head. She had a piece of paper on it. And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure?" "Yeah." As she removes the piece of paper from her forehead, you can realize that she's been pressing her head on there for a while. I said, you look like you got a headache. And she goes, "No, it's just really hot. And this table here is cold. So I put my head on it." I said, "Oh." And the other girl goes, "And I think she was sleeping." That right there got my attention. I started laughing. I walked out and I looked at Rez. I said, there's just some things in life. He goes, "What?" I said, "I just told those girls I can't wait to get on the podcast. That way we can talk about them." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "Because the way that she just slammed her head on that table and then picked it up and had a piece of paper." He goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah." Mind you, if you have not noticed, Raz is a smoker. So as soon as Raz got done eating, he went outside to go smoke, which is perfectly fine. But he missed all the fun in seeing a girl pick up her head and look like Jim Carrey off of Liar Liar. There's the reference right there. Jody got it right there. If you've not seen Liar Liar, as he picks up his head and he goes, "Yeah." But yeah, so those were a couple of stories, and I told Dr. Friday, I said, there's just stupid things that have happened to me recently. And every time we get on a Friday show, I never get a chance. I never write them down. And I feel bad because, I always say, "Hey, I'm going to put you guys on a podcast," because, that's what we do, right? We put people on a podcast. We talk about our situations. Is it a good situation? Is it a bad situation? It doesn't matter. We have every opportunity just to talk about things in our life. By the way, from my boss, he has STD. And if you don't know what STD is, it is shit to do. Made it really awkward sitting right beside him in a meeting, looking at me and go, "I got STD." And I said, "I feel like you should go get that checked out with a doctor." And he goes, "Shit to do. This is a piss poor meeting." So yeah. Friday, do you got anything? Because I could go on.
Oh yeah, I know I do, and I know Jody does.
Oh,
things I've
Jody,
learned
I can't
lately.
wait.
How about you go first, Jody? You want me to? Okay. So things
No, I
I've learned as an adult. You can buy a pair of steel-toed shoes and a toilet for the same price. And it is surprisingly easy to go in and get certain appliances for your house in like 10 minutes. And when you're a kid, it's like, how does all this work? Now you can be in and out of Lowe's with a new toilet and a caulking gun in like 15 minutes. Everything paid, including going to the back of the store to find the stupid toilet.
Oh yeah.
And also, it's not good for your budget when you have to find out you have to do both in the same day because they're both $100 a piece. I pray you never have the tank of your toilet break randomly.
That makes for a shitty situation.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Sorry,
gosh.
couldn't help myself.
No, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. We don't judge around here. Oh, maybe we do.
Okay, here's the hierarchy of judging. We have Dell. We have Balloon judging you. We have a chair judging you. The horse
The
judging
horse.
you. And then we have, of course, the poop monster.
By the way, if you've never watched that movie, I highly recommend you go and it's not as shitty as you would think it was. But it does have every poop joke that you'll ever know. And I'll tell you what, the creators of that movie were so awesome. They actually sent Raven a map, and just reading all the stuff on it, it says number 1 goes here, number 2 goes here. And it says number two on there. It says what a shitty day. Those guys had a great time making that map for that movie, and they sent it to her. And we've had such a busy summer already that we have not been able to send anything back to them, and I apologize to them, but I hope that if they do get a hold of this podcast here, they understand how much Raven's up to watching it 22 times on Tubi. Yeah, that kid has watched that shitty ass movie 22 times, which is not that shitty ass movie. It's actually a really entertaining slap comedy movie. Yeah. But
Jody,
that's enough of
I know
a
you
plug
have a
for them,
story.
right? Yes, tell us about your story, Jody. The cat can tell us too. I heard it.
I know. She's driving me nuts. She's literally like, which one, Jen?
You have so many. Pick one. They're all fun.
Dude, you can't
Okay.
open Pandora's box and just tell me to pick one.
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay. How
Because
about
we just did it.
one or the van one? I don't know. Tell us about the one that happened at the park.
Which one? There was 2. Give me a hint. Like, I'm clueless. Sorry, guys.
How about the one on the left? Tell us the story on the left.
Both of them at the park. Any the funniest one of the cat stories.
Oh, I had a funny cat story happen last night.
There you go.
Okay.
So, somehow, a stupid fly got in my house, and my cats love to chase flies. And for people that don't know, yes, I'm a cat hoarder. I love my babies. And there's no shame in my game. And I was sleeping very well. Very well. Well, on my nightstand, because unfortunately I'm a very sickly person, sits all my medicine and a lamp so I can turn it on and know what I'm grabbing. And sound asleep, the best sleep I've gotten in 2 weeks. And yeah, so apparently they went after the fly and a lamp hit me in the head. And I was startled awake. And the cats, for a minute, I think they thought they were going to die.
Possibly.
It was not fun. And Jenny, you would understand why I jumped and was startled the way I was by the lamp. But then I just sat down on the floor like the cats thought their mama lost her ever-loving mind. I was in hysterics. Like, I got hit in the head with a lamp. Yep. It happened. Orion, please. Sorry, my cat was in my face.
The park story. The one you
The park-
haven't told yet on air.
Which one?
Well, you told the one about being high last time.
I did. But there's been many things that have happened in said park. How about when I first moved to how about mistaken identity? And
Okay, mistaken identity in the park.
okay, so this will kind of show my temper. I had not lived in this town. This was 12 years ago. Not even 3 hours. I'm moving into my apartment, and across the park, Jenny remembers this. There's a Dollar General, so I go walk into the Dollar General to buy a couple things. And I come walking back through, and this lady was highly intoxicated and starts accusing me of sleeping with her man, and I have no clue who she is. Okay. Trying to calm her down. And I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm not who you think I am. Oh, you know, and of course, some very ugly words went flying out of her mouth. And I shocked her because my temper got the best of me because she was just like not letting me pass her and being relentless. But she was so intoxicated that spit got on my face.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Y'all started.
And I pretty much slapped her sober, and she goes, "Oh, you're not her." And I just walked away. I just walked away. I'm like, yep, I'm not her.
So when she spit on you, did she do the good old hawk too?
No, it was like she was just like when she was yelling at me, like, ugh. Because she was that intoxicated.
She was over moist.
But she ended up sober. And then the next day, I went walking through again, and she's sitting on the bench, and she goes, "I have to ask your forgiveness, but thank you for hitting me." And I'm just looking at her like, I don't know. Maybe I saved her from getting in trouble, but that was very amusing. But that was my first experience in my town ever.
Welcome to town.
Or exactly. But apparently
we're
somebody was up to no good.
Yeah. Welcome to town. By the way, we're firm believers of bitch slapping and pistol whipping here.
Exactly.
Oh, you'll fit right in.
But the fact the next day she thanked me for knocking her sober, what, like, I'm walking in Dollar General and I'm just giggling the whole freaking time because I'm like, did I just get thanked for like bitch slapping her?
You know,
yes, you
I
did.
go to
Sometimes
my Dollar.
it helps.
I go to my Dollar General here in my little community, and I swear it is like a IQ test gets brought up. I'm amazed at the people that come from out of town into our town for the Dollar General. Usually, you know, a whole bunch of people. It's a small community. But once in a while, you get these questionable people that look at you like you the biggest redneck that they've ever seen. And by golly, I'll play as ignorant as possible. When they ask for directions and they seem like they're a little snippy at it, well, by golly, what you do is you go down to that here stop sign, and then once you go past it, you go through it, okay? And then you go down to there's a thing that's got a blinking light, and it blinks like this, and it's got a stop sign, okay? Then all you do is you take a left. And once you take that left, you're going to go up this hill and immediately take a right. And that'll get you back to the interstate. Because there's a wreck on the interstate and you lost directions. And for some reason, your GPS has not told you to come in 1 mile, take a left, go down to the next next entry, and then take another left and then a right. And it brings you right back to where you are.
Mm-hmm. I've been there. My favorite thing was when I lived down in Florida, I lived on a dead-end road, and people get lost because, I mean, it could be confusing the way the side streets were and everything, and if I was out in the yard or whatever, they'd be asking for directions, and I'd be like, well, you go down here, you take that right. Once you take that right, when you see that church on the left, don't go left. Keep going. You're going to take the next left. And when you see that big boulder on the right, take that right. And then when you finally see a stop sign, you're going to take the left. And they'd still come back and ask me how to get out of there.
So I had a buddy, and I can't remember this road, but we always called it Lollipop Lane.
Ooh,
because
I like that.
Because it had one road that came into it, and then you could go left or right, but you come back up to that intersection because it would go completely in a weird circle and come back.
Oh.
And I remember being at his house, and I'm sitting there on the porch with him, and he goes, "See that car right there? They're lost." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I got this." I said, "What?" And he goes, "Okay." So they come up and they're like, "Hey, do you know how to get out here?" "Yeah, just go up there to that stop sign and take a left." He goes, "All right." So they go ahead, take a left, and then they would come back up to the three-way stop. That was that circle, right?
Mm.
He would go running in the house, change a hat and a shirt. And he would be like, "Oh, no, this ain't how you got to go one more." And he would do it and go back in and change a hat. And then the person comes, "You're fucking with me, aren't you?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And it worked too. I got you to go around 3 times. Just absolutely. It's like, what the hell, Jim? And he goes, "I know, right?" It's like, I can't take you seriously. He goes, "Nope. Neither can they." And then about 15 minutes, here comes another car.
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, here we go. Round 2. He goes, "You want to place a wager? I bet you I can get him to go around at least twice." I was like, "All right." So he went ahead and he would do everything. He would even go run in his house, which was like right at that corner, right at the corner. They would not picture the house being the same. No, they looked at the human every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And the wife would be like, I think he's screwing with you." No, that's how these people are. They're real true Americans.
Right.
It was hospitality. Didn't we just watch a movie that was all about hospitality? Friday.
Yes.
Talking about true hospitality and this and that. Oh, yeah, he was absolutely right.
Oh, that brings up the question. You want the green milk or the blue milk?
Oh, gosh.
Is that like the red or the blue pill?
Well, one
Oh, the Matrix.
Different universe, and one is in a movie that somebody mistakenly thought was completely and totally American, but everybody involved that was American is like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. By the way, what we're talking about right now, if you have not seen it, please go back to our latest episode of Tomb of the Terrible and watch us give a wonderful report on Troll 2, which is very misleading because there is not a single troll in it. There's old no, they're not gremlins. Where are they? Goblins. And there's no goblin of, well, I guess there was one goblin of fire, wasn't there?
Yes. And the blue milk is from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, back in the day, I got really confused with Troll 2 because I loved all the Trolls movies, and I was like, huh? What?
Speaking of trolls, let me just tell you right now, I remember the good old trolls that had the belly buttons that had gems.
Yes.
And then we got a troll movie, and there was no gems. There was
in their
just a lot of
bellies.
confetti and sparkles. And I can relate to Branch. Keep your happiness away from me.
Have you seen the last one yet? With Raven?
No, it just popped on. Actually, tonight she went to go see another movie, which is a Disney movie, Inside Out, number 2. And
Yeah.
the wife said that she and the daughter and the mother-in-law all enjoyed this movie. And afterwards, they got ice cream.
Nice.
That rock.
I know, right?
Oh, there's a comment.
Yay.
What? We got comments.
You only saw half of the Troll movie? Troll 2 movie? Torture yourself and finish watching the other half.
Or better yet, watch it and tape yourself so we can watch you. Because, boy, did I give some facial expressions. That one was like a really hard one to swallow.
So
Even though they
I
were
watched
trying to
it
get
way
you to
too-
eat everything.
I watched it way too many times as a kid. And then I forgot about it completely until we rewatched it last Saturday. And I'm like, as an adult, this is not as fun as the first one.
Mm-mm. The first one was good.
Yes.
I remember getting in trouble for watching it because, like there were like rules about what I could watch and what I couldn't watch. But, people go to sleep and Jody's still up. And
There was very few things in my house that I couldn't watch. But
I got a whooping. I got a whooping for watching Revenge of the Nerds with my brother and Porky's.
Why? I am confused.
Because of the nudity, and I should know better.
Oh,
You should know better.
Yeah, I was 6.
Like,
now that you made that comment, my dad and mom would go to sleep, and dad suspected I was up late watching something. And
Mm-hmm.
he expected it was going to be like scrambled porn, and I was like going to go, oh, look, there's a boob. No,
Right.
I was up late trying to watch scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I was also the kid that jumped off the bridge and no other kid followed me.
I was that kid.
There we go. We got friends now.
Oh, yeah. BFFs.
Definitely.
Currently reciting in the Upside Down. I want to see the other part today if it ever comes out.
So they said they're hoping by November, but Millie Bobby Brown, because she did Damsel, that Netflix flick, and something else. So a few of the things conflicted with filming, but then they had some other issues, but then they started moving forward again with filming. But apparently the whole mashup is going to be, even though they're broken still into the episodes, it's going to be more like an actual movie, the way I've been hearing it'll play out, which to me, then you're not getting lapses in the storyline. It'd be kind of cool.
What I want to see is them figure out the whole thing with Sam, because that just absolutely destroyed me towards the end.
Yes.
That 11 went inside Sam and there was nothing. That
Max,
that's right.
I was trying to figure out which one was Sam. Max. So apparently, now I don't know how it goes, but I saw a little, how they do sometimes, somebody will get a hold of a little clip and they'll spoil it. I saw her but it was the back of her, so I didn't see a frontal view. So I don't know if it's just going to be like a brief thing where 11 finally finds her and tries to bring her. But I also heard a lot of rumors that Eddie's supposed to make another special appearance.
Eddie saved everybody once. He doesn't need to save more.
No, but I also want to see Elle destroy Vecna for the final time without sacrificing herself.
Right.
There's got to be a huge win there.
Yeah.
But that story, believe it or not, I'm that weird person. Like when I'm going through a lot of chaos and just shit in my life, those kind of movies like help me. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah. And then I'm gonna watch it again. And then I'm gonna watch it again. You know, there's a lot of times Jen and I have talked about this a lot where music, movies, I mean, it helps me through because there's certain parts. I mean, even with Stranger Things, I grew up in the 80s. I get all of it and the different things that were happening, you know, back then that are so relatable. So not only do I get a trip down memory lane, but it made it relevant to everything right now. Does that make sense?
It does. And Jody, I think you're a wonderful person. Let me just tell you right now, not saying anything about your age or your condition, but having too many trips might be a bad thing for your health. So
yeah.
No tripping.
Okay.
I don't care if it's memory lane or what. A trip.
No tripping for you.
Yep. If you fall down the steps, Jody, we've got a problem.
Well, the floor gets lonely, pal. The floor gets really lonely. She gets walked on all the time, and she just needs hugs.
But she doesn't need yours anymore. Remember what happened last time?
You know what? I'm going to stare at the wall here. Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
I just almost said that.
Hello from the other side. You know what? The viewers that we have right now are probably like, we could have done without that. But you know what? You did it. You stayed and you stayed true and you're watching it. And I hope that somebody's enjoying this. I mean, if they're not enjoying this, I'm doing something wrong. You know, I always said I could be a stand-up comedian and my funniest joke would be 2 words. Do you know what the joke would be? My life.
And you'd win with that, I promise.
I've had a great life. I've enjoyed my life so much.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to laugh. My cat just got my back.
And take that.
That's exactly what he did. Like,
I've got a friend that's got a cat. And this cat, she's like, what am I going to do with this thing? I said, I don't know. My honest opinion would be to go to a Chinese restaurant and not bring the cat. Because, man, it is a really, really, really. Yes, I'm glad that part of it. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself because we're enjoying ourselves. But my friend has this cat that just absolutely attacks her and abuses her. And the only thing that the cat doesn't do is walk up to her and go, shh, take it like a champ. That thing has scratched her. That thing has bitten her. That thing has ran across her. Poor woman's in a wheelchair.
Oh.
So, you know, this cat's like running around going, na 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 na. And it's like, no, kitty, don't. That's exactly what I think. She opens the door and I get in a vision of her going, no, kitty, no. And the cat's like, yeah.
So did she name the cat Dolores Claiborne?
No, but it's got a split colored face, and I call it a two-faced politician every single time. I mean, some days it's like, hey, you want to come pet me? She goes and she pets it. All of a sudden it goes, that's enough. I said that's enough, and bites her. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Aren't all cats plotting to kill us? I'm halfway certain
Oh,
mine
I did have a cat like that once, and my legs were trees, and it was wretched. I couldn't wear shorts or nothing. I finally had to rehome her because it was horrible.
yeah. I mean, I love her to death, and the cat stares me down like, this is my woman in a wheelchair. You're never going to get her. I'm going to use her as my personal scratch toy, and you can't do nothing because you will go home and I will bite her. And when I bite her, I will draw blood. And then you can call me Vampire Kitty. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's just like,
mine is the ankle biter.
I don't have a cat. I don't. And it's not that I don't like cats. It's I don't like the fact that I would have to be the one that maintained the cat. There's a litter box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have enough time to potty train the kitty cat. And the bad thing is, if I would potty train the kitty cat, the dog would be like, hey, look, a cigar. And it's like, that cat never poops. And the dog's like, you're right, it never poops.
So Cass is known as Ankle Eater in the gaming world. And the cat has been attacking ankles. And one day, Lunar attacks Cass's ankles. And she just looks down and says, I trained you well. Now let go of me.
That sounds like her. That's my girl.
You know, cats are really, really awesome. Sometimes you look at them and you go past and they don't do nothing. And then all of a sudden, it's like that song played in their head. Reach out and touch me. And the cat just grabs you. It's like, hey, what the heck?
I've got one that does that in the morning under the bed. I'll be walking by. And I'm like, hey, you can let go.
I got 2 pit bulls, and the worst things about my pit bulls is not their attitudes. It's not their aggressive. It's nothing like that, because they're not. They have great attitudes. They love to play. They're lover dogs. It's when they stretch, they fart. Like, seriously, Moose is just like, ugh. And Misty, she farts, and all of a sudden she gets up and she acts like, oh, I didn't do that, and she runs off. It's like, what the heck did you eat? And then you come to realize you've been feeding them the same dog food, and they're for some reason raunchy.
Yeah.
Moose has a chewing problem, and he just wants to chew on anything he can get a hold of. We've got him broken off of some things, this and that, but he likes plastic bottles. He likes to take the caps off, roll the cap away, and just start chewing on the threading of the bottle lip. And he just goes, har, 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 har. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then Misty looks over like, well, if you're doing that, I'm doing it too. It's like, you can knock it off. Because then they get these little pieces of plastic and they don't want to eat it. They just want to chew it. So they get these little pieces of plastic. And the pieces of plastic magically show up everywhere. Like when you roll over and you're in bed, and then you have this sharp pain. It's like, oh, what is that? And it feels like one of those metal jacks. Like the ball and jack. Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden you roll over and you're like, oh, my kidney. What was that? Is that a kidney stone? And you're like, it's green. It's a Mountain Dew bottle. It's just like, oh my gosh. Just, ugh.
I just got a vision.
You got the event. You know what? You should be there for it. It's not a vision. It is pain and suffering.
I'm
I've
sorry.
been there for it.
Or my wife does the laundry and she'll take the laundry and she'll pour it on the bed. A lot of people do this. They pour it on the bed and they sort. Okay, well, that's fine. She takes the socks out and she puts them together and then throws them in my sock drawer, which is awesome. Thank you for doing my laundry. I appreciate you. I love you. Congratulations. But can you monitor it and make sure there's no pieces of little sharp plastic? Because when my foot goes in that sock early in the morning, wow, that's a wake-up call in the morning. Who in the heck needs coffee when you got a wife and a dog?
Right. Wake up call.
Oh my gosh. The saddest thing was I was like at work and my sock just moved and then it was there. And I'm a truck driver. You can't just stop and say, hey, let me take I'm like, mile marker 37. I got to get down to 0. But yeah, oh man. Go ahead,
Did
Friday.
you pick your pet or did they pick you?
So there's a story with both dogs. Okay. Both were home to people and they couldn't have these dogs anymore.
Oh.
And Misty was 6 when she came to live with us. And she just absolutely, she had one point where she's like, you know what? Me and you's not going to get along. And she growled at me one time and I told her, I said, I love you to pieces, but if you're going to growl, you're going to do this. I'm going to teach you a lesson. And I bopped her. Boy, did I bop her one time. And then she realized, okay, well, I can't beat him, which that was good because 2 months later, she got parvo. And then that became a major, major trust. You've got to trust me and I've got to trust you. I got to trust that you want to live and you got to trust me that I'm going to get you to live. And I'll tell you what, this doctor gave us medication, a couple needles, and a couple bags of saline. And I had to pump this saline into this dog underneath her fur. And that dog just didn't care. She looked like a camel after I got done pushing that much liquid. And finally, she got cleared. She good. Now this dog is like 11, 12 years old. And she's had a great life. She's slowing down. She's starting to really show her age. And then you got Moose. Moose was a dog that, hey, I need to find a home for this dog. We're going to be moving. Plus, I'm allergic to this dog. It's my son's dog. And I said, well, you know, maybe I could, you know, talk to him about the dog. Well, we brought Misty down. Misty and Moose played so hard that Misty was like almost having a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh, dog. And she's like, yeah, it's fun to play with another dog. So he said, well, here's the crate. Here's this, here's that. Okay. So we took Misty home and we took Moose home. And those two are just absolutely best friends. They love each other. Moose can't figure out why in the heck he's got to go in the cage outside, the kennel cage, and Misty can run the yard. It's because you haven't figured out there's boundaries, dog. Like you get out and you go running over to someone else's yard. He's getting better. We've had him for 2 years and he's got a lot better in the 2 years. The dog's actually a pit bull mixed with a boxer, and he's got the walleye where one eye goes looks that way and one looks that way. And he looks at you and goes, hi. It's like focus dog. But he's a good dog. He just he dumb. He ran into
hold on.
Oh.
Where do you want people to find you?
You can find me on, once I get it going again, Jody Odyssey Corner right here on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook under Jody May like the month. You can find me on Nail the Rainbow, which is a private group. Send me a friend request. I'll bring you right in. We'll have all kind of fun. You can find me on TikTok under, is it Rebel Angel or Jody Colonna? I forget. Look up both. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
I
Great.
thought you were in your house,
trying
but
my
I'm glad
buddy.
to hear your other places.
Okay, smartass. Thank you. But I gotta
I'm
run.
so glad you came on.
Thank you for having me on. I needed the laughs. Pile Jenny can fill you in a little bit later, but just keep me all in y'all's thoughts and positive vibes moving forward.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, should have told her happy 4th of July on the 3rd. Happy Independence Day. I'm sure she's still watching. You don't
Yes.
think she would turn us out of her life that quickly, right? And we're
No.
done. Click. No, I'm joking. But no, I just Padded Cell is one of those places that you can come talk about anything, talk about this and that, and we're really glad that we actually have Padded Cell. It's been a very stressful couple of months, but things are starting to work out better. I'm glad. I mean, I thought my refrigerator died, and apparently someone didn't shut the refrigerator, and it liquefied all its assets. So had to get rid of everything, but it's okay.
Oh,
wow. April had food poisoning 2 weeks ago because,
That's not fun.
well, no, it was her own doings. I'm impressed at her for not doing this correctly. The refrigerator started going bad. We thought, okay, we need a new fridge. The door got left open and everything had to reset itself. But the fridge was getting a little warm. So we took out everything that wasn't sealed and threw it away. Well, when I said, hey, anything that's not sealed, please let us go ahead and get rid of the unsealed items. She goes, okay. Well, Chip Dip was open before we went on vacation. So the Chip Dip was probably about 3 weeks opened, and then the fridge got a little warm. So we both know that that's a bad combination. April didn't. She just thought the weird taste was actually just the potato chips being stale. Then the next day, she realized food poisoning was a existing thing. Now, this ain't the first time she's had food poisoning. This is the first time she's had food poisoning since we've been together. She's had food poisoning by her mother multiple times, apparently. So, yeah. But she's doing better. She missed 1 day of work, went the next day. And I told her, I said, let's not play that game again. We have a brand new container of Chip Dip in the fridge, and I don't think she's touched it because I don't think her mind or body is ready for Chip Dip, which is funny because Raz actually calls her Chip Dip.
Now, I have a question. What flavored Chip Dip?
French onion.
Okay, that I like. I
French
have a
onion
buddy
from K. Rogers.
Say what?
French onion from K. Rogers.
I keep confusing my buddy because Chip Dip normally just used for chips, right? I'll get random Chip Dips from the cold area, and I'll put it on all types of things. And then he'll come over and it's like, you don't put Chip Dip on there. You just eat it with the chips. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
No, we don't.
Nope. Some of the best things to eat with chip. And you know what? We have people watching, and I'm very glad that we got people watching. But let me ask everybody, if you have the opportunity to comment, please do so. I want to see your comment on this. What do you stick Chip Dip on that is not chip related? Because I will tell you right now, if you go to the Wally World and you pick up a Oscar Mayer sub pack, it comes with ham and turkey, that, and then put that on a sandwich and then Chip Dip right there. You can add chips on there to get a really nice crunch, but it doesn't need the chips because that Chip Dip from K. Rogers is wonderful. And if you've never been to a K. Rogers, I don't know, Dr. Friday, do you even know what K. Rogers is?
We don't have them in the South. I haven't seen one in more than 25 years.
Okay, so when I was in Houston, I found a K. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we do have them in the South, but we don't have them close to me.
But K. Rogers is actually a Cincinnati-based store. And anybody that knows me knows that I call it K. Rogers because everybody else calls it Kroger's.
Oh,
And
I have. Oh,
oh,
I used to shop at Kroger's all the time. Then I had to move. Kroger's, the one close to where I was, it was amazing. Kroger's is a. I think the best thing about Kroger's is they're the only ones that would work with the weird prescription milligrams that they would give me while I was pregnant. They're like, I need this. It's not a normal milligrams. Okay.
Yep.
We'll get back to you. And within like 3 days, they were able to have me my prescription to help me continue to have as healthy as possible pregnancy.
so it's funny because I used to work right beside a Kroger's or in a Kroger's Plaza. I had a guy that was a manager at the store I used to work for, and his name was Roger. I would call Kroger's K. Rogers because if you spell Kroger's, it is K. Roger. Okay. I just did
I am
that.
so tired. It did not click.
Well, Raz, it took a while for him because I was like, oh, there's a K. Rogers. Oh, look, you guys have another K. Rogers down here. Look, there's another K. Rogers. And he goes, what? And we stopped. And I said, K. Rogers. And he goes, Kroger's. I'm going to start calling Kroger's K. Rogers. So I've went into Kroger's multiple times calling it K. Rogers. Because if you go and you look at some of their drinks, it says on it, see if I can pull this up, Big K brand.
Yeah. Hold on.
So, there
you go.
yep. It says Big K. Okay. So I always just made it Big K Rogers. So it's Kroger's, but I always call it K. Rogers.
In Conroe, they have like 3 stores. There, it does one of these places. If you do it right, it's like a big circle, but
Yep.
they're all within like 2 miles of each other. But in Conroe, it's humongous, so it makes a difference to have that many Kroger's close to each other. But also, it's a circle with them like 2 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
It's
And
insane.
there's 2 types of K. Rogers. There's one that's just the regular K. Rogers, and there is a K. Rogers Marketplace. The K. Rogers Marketplace has more items than just the regular food items that you see at a regular K. Rogers. And I think it's awesome because it has some of the stuff that you would find at Walmart. Speaking at Walmart has their regular stores, which are like mini Walmart now. There's not too many left. And then you have a super Walmart that has more stuff in it. And those vary in sizes. And then you have a green Walmart that's not the typical blue, but it's green. And I come to find out that is just marketing. That is just, we went down to North Carolina, we found one. And by the way, anybody ever invites me down to North Carolina or South Carolina, that's where it was, South Carolina. Anybody ever invites me down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, do not get offended when I tell you hell no. I'm a country folk. I like trees and I like beaches. So when I said, okay, well, I'll look it up, and our family decided we were going to go there as a trip, I come to realize that there's more concrete in Myrtle Beach than there is sand. And it upset me so much. But one of the best things I found there was there was a buffet. It was like China City or something like that. And I will pull it up on my Google map. It is 12 hours away from my location here. And I would go down to Myrtle Beach just for that Chinese restaurant again. That place claimed, and I say it claimed to have over 110 items on their buffet. And I thought to myself, I'm sure. But that Chinese restaurant actually had over 120 items on that buffet. And it was a really good and great flavor and this and that. And I just was like, okay. So me and my family, we always make a comment. If we are going to go down to South Carolina, we got to go to Myrtle Beach just for the Chinese restaurant, because the beach is just not what we want at Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is also the world capital of putt-putt golf, like mini golf.
Mm-hmm.
It's got oodles and oodles of them. Some are themed dinosaurs, some are themed aliens, some are the whatever. If you can think of it, that mini golf is down there. Me saying that, also, did you know there's a difference between putt-putt golf and mini golf?
Yeah.
Did you know that there is a world certification on putt-putt golf?
No.
I did not know this. I went putt-putt golf at Warren, Ohio. And Warren, Ohio's got putt-putt golf. They actually have world tournaments of putt-putt golf that people go around and they can get into these different, and it's got to be regulation, this and that. And I just thought to myself, you got to be kidding me. But nope, we went there, and very nice people at that putt-putt golf place. I learned a lot. And did you know that you could be Miss Putt-Putt Golf? They have a whole ceremony. There's a mascot there. Oh my gosh. Just for hitting some balls around.
Dude, I've noticed something. I'm collecting Ohioan friends by accident. You know how I had Parker Levitt on the Unprinted Pages recently?
Yeah.
He lives in Ohio. I can't say where because I haven't been given like permission other than him saying I am in Ohio. But the fact that a whole new author and a whole new person to tell people about that is doing great things, but it's an Ohioan. How is this happening to me? And I didn't even try. So many amazing Ohioans are just like, hi, I'm here.
If you go to any state and you find a vacation place in that state and you look at the license plates, no kidding on this, if you do a tally, Ohio will be your top one. It magically happens all the time. I went down to Myrtle Beach, Ohio. I went down to Tennessee, Ohio. I go up to Michigan, Ohio. Pennsylvania, Ohio. I understand these places ain't too far. Texas, a lot of Ohio. In fact, guess what's coming up in Texas? Texas Hunters Convention.
Yes, that needs to happen.
That is coming up. And a while back we had can't think of his name. Probably shouldn't say his name. Yeah, we had him though. Troy. Jeez, crime.
Yes.
We had Troy, and he's now from Texas, and he is one of the big people that do a lot of stuff with that convention. And he's gearing up for that convention. And I can't wait because Midwest Hunters Convention just concluded last month. East Coast was the month before that. A couple months before that was Transworld. There's other haunting conventions, but those are the ones I know about that I do stuff with. So that's why I'm talking about them. It's nothing against any other convention. Just I've never been invited to go to other conventions. So wink, 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 wink.
I would love to invite you to go to a convention, but I can't afford it.
Well, right now, go ahead.
Random back to previous conversation. I was thinking about the diabetic part, and I was talking to my sister who also is diabetic, and the different types of sweet dips you can make with sugar-free pudding. And I didn't know if you like sweet dips.
It's a hit and miss on a lot of stuff. If it's really good and it's sugar free, it's very disastrous because sugar free stuff will make you explode.
Well, yeah,
and
but that's why you make a small amount.
I'm sorry. Have you ever seen the size of me? I am not a small guy. I don't eat small things.
No, I actually did see the actual full size of you finally recently, and I'm like, oh, he's like me.
I am a big guy. I am. I absolutely am, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like I always tell everybody, I'm a big guy. I give big hugs, and there's so much of a big heart in me that it could be a terrible thing. But sugar-free stuff. In fact, the military has told the story repeatedly of why you should not have sugar-free gummy bears, because there was a whole story of them being on the shooting range and everything, all their assets got liquefied.
Yeah. Too much sugar-free things can be a problem.
Oh, yeah. But I'll tell you, I like me some sugar-free stuff. I will drink sugar-free things that you stick in water. Just give it a little flavor. Wonderful things. I love them. You really got to watch what you're intaking. I can't say that enough. Just please. Water. Please wash out, and I'll say it, wash out the evils of what you stick in your body, because the goblins are watching you. But I'll tell you.
Yes, they are.
You know, I want to tell you a story about my dad and tell you how comical my family has been. In the spirit of 4th of July, I will tell a story about my father. And if anybody knows my father, you please give him the biggest aloha you can possibly give. Because if it's around 4th of July and you say aloha, it will trigger his memory for this. By the way, he gave me a whole bunch of fireworks because he doesn't want to deal with those. So our family had this big party every 4th of July. And it was a Hawaiian party. Usually we would do it on the 3rd or on a weekend, just so no one had to play whatever. But my father was selected to be the witch doctor, and the witch doctor had the greatest job in the world. It was to celebrate this country's independence by blowing up a little section of it, one fuse at a time. And if you ever
That's
watch The
great.
Simpsons, that is exactly what Apu says. Nothing like celebrating your nation's independence like blowing a chunk of it up. But my father, he wore a hula skirt. If you're setting off fireworks, do not wear a hula skirt. I'm just telling you. Two things could go horribly wrong with a hula skirt. You could light yourself on fire. Dad didn't go down that road. Oh no. What he did was he set off a few fireworks. They went up. One knocked over another one. Okay. Shot it right into the bag of fireworks. Started the bottle rockets up. He was chased from one side of this field to the other side of this field by bottle rockets. And he was running as fast as he could as his hula skirt dropped down to his ankles, tripped him. He slams his face into the ground. All the fireworks went flying over him. One shot up, one shot over, and one went underneath a vehicle. They all went bang, 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 bang. After we made sure that the car did not explode from the firework, we looked at my father and said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yep." I said, "That was pretty good. Can you repeat that?" And he goes, "Like in the words of Daffy Duck, that was a one-time show only." My father has never wore a hula skirt and been the witch doctor. Oh no. The next year, I was the witch doctor. And I set off all the fireworks. And as you are setting off fireworks, let me remind everyone, number one, make sure you check and make sure that your fireworks are in a safe distance away from any place. Because someone I know shot a firework and it went into the gas grill. It went boom.
I'll
The
be
gas
right
grill was okay. Oh no, she's leaving. Fine, I'll talk to all the people that are watching me, which that's perfectly fine. You guys just don't have reactions. Anyway, so I always want to tell everybody, just pay attention to how you do your fireworks. Get the lighters with the long lights on them, long handles. That way you don't get 4th of July thumb. Make sure you know your distance. And as much as it is fun, do not shoot fireworks up your gutter system. And if my friends are watching and they know exactly that, yes, don't do it, boys. I also want to point out how fireworks can be wonderful, but just make sure you guys have something to put stuff out. Do not ever look down those tubes, because if you think it's done and it's over with, it can ignite and you don't want to lose your face. But yeah, fireworks are a wonderful thing. We celebrate the independence every single year. There's a lot of places that are starting to stop doing fireworks and they're starting to do drone shows. I've not seen a drone show, but you know what? Maybe when one comes around me, it'd be nice to watch. So, but yeah, that's my safety tip to all you wonderful people. Just giving you a heads up on being safe in this wonderful holiday season. Make sure that if you go to a party and the food is a food that needs to be refrigerated and it's been sitting out, stay away from that stuff. You don't want to celebrate Independence Day while sitting on the toilet. It's not much fun. Watch out for the chip dip. Chip dip's a number one situation maker. And please don't fight over chip dip. There's plenty of chip dip out there. But here I am going through. I don't know. If anybody has anything that they would like to add into the conversations, just letting us know what you guys are thinking, or what you guys are doing for 4th of July. You guys doing a cookout? You guys going to go fishing? You guys going to do fireworks? I know there's a lot of things out there that a lot of people do. Family traditions. You guys got family traditions? Family traditions are always wonderful to celebrate in these wonderful holiday seasons. And, you know, I was just talking to Eli Yoder. And Eli Yoder is actually a former Amish, and he has a TikTok and talks about how it was to be in the Amish when he was younger. And I asked him, I said, so got a question about your Amish upbringings. I know you guys didn't celebrate Independence Day because it's a holiday and you guys just don't do that unless it's, you know, Christmas. Anyway, so I asked him, I said, did you guys ever get to see fireworks? And I'm sure you have, but what kind of things did you guys do? Because it was always one of those things that you can't go without seeing fireworks someplace. Someone's always setting something off. And he told me, he goes, we would wait for mom and dad to think that we were sleeping. We'd go out to the window and we would watch the neighbor. The neighbor would set off some fireworks just so we could see the fireworks, because the fireworks were one of those things that, you know, Amish don't get to do. Older Amish don't get to do. So he informed me that, yes, they did. And they were super excited to watch the fireworks, but it was something that they would have to sneak. Oh, fair enough. They would have to sneak and see the neighbor's display. But when other people would blow them off, you couldn't ignore them. Which, you know, I told him, I said, no matter what, I'm glad that I have input on how this will operate, because honestly, when I was little, and Dr. Friday, since you're back, I can ask you this question. When you were younger and you looked at Amish, I don't know, did you see Amish when you were younger?
There weren't many around where I lived, and the ones that we did see ignored us.
Okay. So my mother and my father and my son has done this, but my mother and father always talked about when I was younger. And this was at the really old K. Rogers before they got the bigger K. Rogers. Anyway, I seen Amish. We weren't sure if they were Amish or Mennonite or whatever, but I looked at mom and dad and I got really big-eyed and I was excited to see them. And my mom and dad looked at me and goes, you okay? And I said, I want to go outside. Mom goes, why do you want to go outside? I said, I want to go outside because I want to see if the ship is here. Mom goes, what are you talking about? I wanted to see if the Mayflower is there because I thought those were pilgrims. I legitly kid you not. I was a kid and I thought, by golly, here's pilgrims. They just walked right into K. Rogers. And if I go outside, I know my sign. I know my history, so there should be a ship. Nope, I am totally wrong. I was totally wrong, so badly there. Just so you know, I've never seen Amish on a ship or Mennonite on a ship. But
Neither
by
have I.
golly, if I would see him on a ship, I would. You know, I'm going to send him a message right now, right here. I am going to message Eli, and I'm going to ask him if Amish go on boats,
Good
or is
question.
that too much of a worldly thing? Hey, buddy,
I don't.
I'm doing
So-
a podcast live right now, and in front of everybody, I'm asking you this question. Do Amish go on boats? Or is it just rowboats? So we're going to see if he responds while we're in here. Because,
Okay.
you know,
If not,
he's
we
free.
can post it on the Facebook page.
right. He Yoder Toter 40. If you ever go on TikTok and you look at it, it's Yoder Toter 40. He's very famous in the TikTok world. He actually doesn't live too far away from me. Me and him made a comment multiple times how we need to go out and we just need to meet each other and talk. And he knows I do podcasts. And boy, do I watch his TikToks because he's a truck driver. And he always tells this wonderful story. And I love this wonderful story about him. He, as soon as he left the Amish, he seen a microwave for the very first time. And he had a potato. He stuck the potato in there and he pressed the potato button. And it came out a nice warm potato, right? Well, he stuck a potato in there. And then he looked at it and there is a pizza button. So he figured if he put the potato in there and pressed the pizza button, it would come out a pizza. It came out a nice warm potato. He was so upset. He could not wrap his brain around it. They had to explain to him how this operates. And then he got pizza later.
I don't blame him. Okay, now I know who we're talking about. I love his stories. I love how he explains things.
Yeah. To give you how relevant or how close he is about 25 minutes away from me. He really is. He's in a
That does not surprise me.
No, he's actually in a town not too far away from me at all. In fact, the company I work for, he goes past it almost every single day. That way he can travel to where he works. And me and him talk about different stuff. And he's a wonderful person. He's a very inciting person on what he has went through when he was younger. I don't know it. I know he's been on a podcast for he's been on a podcast for one of his former Amish buddies, and I just don't know if he would ever want to come on one of our podcasts. But he is a very, very godly person. So, but yeah, and what they have done, in my personal opinion, this is my opinion. Everybody's got opinions. If you don't, it's a miracle you don't have a butthole. Because everybody's got a butthole as much as they have opinion. Not saying that you're wrong or anything. There we go. We got Yoder Toter up there. If you have not seen Yoder Toter, I know that Yoder Toter is not just on TikTok. Yoder Toter is actually on YouTube also, because in most of his videos now, when he does stuff, you can see that he's got a button behind him. So he must have done something right. And we're still working on figuring out what we need to do right to get one of those buttons. Isn't that right?
We're going to get there. It's just we got to get to a certain number and then a whole lot more will follow after that. That's usually what happens.
Well, and how do we get there? We got to get people that like us, subscribe to us, share us with their friends, right?
I don't know. Should we play the video to explain all that?
We can. I mean, we've been... Mind you, usually we do that at the end of the show, but since we were talking about Yoder Toter and how he's got all this wonderful stuff and how we're kind of jealous at his superpowers of having people like him. No,
I'm
he's
not
a wonderful
jealous.
guy. He's a wonderful guy. You
I
can't be
do.
jealous of somebody that's expressed his knowledge in things and tried doing wonderful things. I mean, I would like to see us get one of those buttons. And by the way, just so everybody's clear, and I know my tattoo is showing tonight, and it's shown a couple of times, and usually I don't have aren't sleeveless shirts. This is not what some people believe it is. Mean Green. Oh my gosh. Ah, man. I got to pull this up. Oh,
We keep doing it at the same time.
you do it. You do it.
Mean Green in
So-
the house.
Mean Green. I don't know how much Mean Green ever watches or does this and that, but you know what? I'm really glad to see him. I haven't seen him in person for a while. We need to go and have some time together. Miss you, buddy. Mean Green is actually a former haunter. I don't know if he's retired totally or if he's just taking an extended break. He's a very busy person. But Mean Green's always a wonderful person. He's got a lovely wife that she's also a haunter. But back to my tattoo, and I want to bring this up, okay? When my grandfather had cancer, because I know I'm going to get some guff sometime, and hopefully we never get banned off of something because my tattoo, because no one pays attention to it. I miss you too, brother. And it's good that you're not in retirement yet. Anyway, my tattoo, my grandfather had cancer. And when you have cancer, you have good days, you have bad days. And sometimes you have bad days and worse days. And then all of a sudden you have a better day. Philosophy behind that was the phoenix. Phoenix dies and it burns to ashes and it rises up from its ashes. So I got a phoenix on my arm with a circle that has a letter P with a notch knocked out, saying that no matter what, we're always searching for that missing piece of us. And let's see here. Oh, got to move it down. There we go. So that is my phoenix tattoo for my grandfather with the notch of the P knocked out. People that are ignorant will go up and see my arm and they will ask me if I'm proud to be a Nazi. Yes, that is pure ignorance. Yeah. Some people believe that it looks like a Black Hawk with a swastika underneath it or a hidden marking. That's not the case at all.
I have been part of the tattoo artist people for a while. When I was younger, my dad was a tattoo artist. I just thought it was a phoenix, and there was some other hidden meaning with the letter below it.
But I just happened to see it on the screen, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to explain before somebody looks at it and thinks that this is something that it's not. It's aggravating to me. Somebody said, well, if it's aggravating, you should have got it done differently. And that's the thing. I'm very proud of that. So I'm not going to want to get some more tattoos. Just haven't buckled down to go get them. There's going to be a couple different ones I get. And one of them will be the smiley for my haunt. That is the smiley I've made, the smiley I've designed. I absolutely took the time to make sure it looks like it does. And I love my smiley. And you can find my smiley on a lot of things. like we have the Chainers Field of Screams logo, which is with the smiley. And I'm going to pop this up real quick. Friday, you guys will see this on Friday. Oh, that's the background. Haha. Oh, I don't have it in the overclip. I don't have it in layovers, so yeah, I know. But can
you send it to me?
Yeah, hold on here. I can send it to you. And what we're doing is anything that Chainers is affiliated with and does stuff with, you will notice that little smiley face going everywhere. And the reason is just because we want to make sure that Chainers does a really great job. And all my volunteers at this haunt are really always really happy to take a part in something they know that it's bigger. Give me a sec here. I'm going to send this to Jenny. Jenny's going to throw it up there because my computer does not like talking to my phone, and my phone don't like talking to my computer, and my computer says I don't want to do what you say.
Oh, that. Okay.
That's why I was trying to kick up there.
I didn't realize. I thought you were trying to throw up the Chainers thing.
The Chainer is in there.
Yeah, I mean like the actual Chainers space.
Oh. No. We'll be okay doing that. Chainers Haunted Secrets is one of the shows here on the Outlight Network. That little smiley face that's actually in the little circle there, that is actually something that's really, really amazing because you'll see that Chainer mark in almost everything that Chainers Field of Screams or Chainers Haunted Secrets does or anything dealing with Chainer. Oh, by the way, Dr. Friday, I would like you to know that my wife found something in my house. Apparently I have another urn.
Oh.
And I didn't even I remember purchasing this, but I thought I sent it somewhere and it didn't get sent. So I have a urn that's unmarked that will get the Chainer mark on it because we all know how much I love urns. And yeah, because Grandma's got an urn, Grandpa's got an urn. And the thing is, I can't remember if it's the same color as Grandma or if it's a different shade of blue. So yeah. But back to what we were starting. Oh, boy, that's the original. Boy, that is the original.
Uh-huh.
You wanna talk about how that thing is modified? Gee, criminy. Yeah. I turned off my background here. I'd be able to show that. Let's see here.
Here's the current.
Yep, that's the current one. Back here, let's put the boom mic down. Back here, that is another one. Just so everybody knows, every single Chainer mark does have a reason for it, and there is over 32 different Chainer marks.
I want to earn one.
You want to earn one? See, even him, he's got the marking on his arm. Oh, Yep. Even he's got the marking on his arm. But yeah, it's not hard to it's not really hard to earn a chainer mark. You just got to do something with the group, and it's really not that hard. I don't exactly have a chainer mark for podcasting, but that doesn't mean that we can't make one, because I'm the one that makes every single one. Huh?
But this is the best I can do with the group. I want to do something, but this is the best I can do at the moment with the group.
Well, that's not true. We actually do a lot of fundraising, and some of the fundraising that we do is online fundraising. So if there would be something that you would do and you would sign up and you would do fundraising underneath the chainer's name, you become one of the chainers. There is a chainer mark for different type of people that do something special. Dad's got one. Mine's actually the original. Dad's got one that is actually a cabin, because he has always worked on the cabin and always done stuff in the cabin area. So it was very fitting him being the chainer of the cabin in the woods. There is one that has a bell, and her chainer name. Ooh, that's pretty.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what that was, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the corpse garden thing.
I don't know what it is, but it's pretty.
Oh yeah. Well, if you
we got too many.
Really?
We got too many.
Do you see all the
that we can't.
tombstones?
Yeah, I love that. But no,
yeah.
we actually have a chainer mark that is bells, and it's for the one that is called chest or a jester. And there's always our volunteers, our haunters that want to do something and push yourself up to the next level, to be able to get their own marking made. We actually have one that is called the Grumpy Cat, and the Grumpy Cat is exactly what you think it is. It is a person that has done stuff to make herself kind of look like the Grumpy Cat. Yeah, I always love my haunters. I love haunters from other facilities, this and that. And there is a haunter mark, or there's a chainer mark for assisting another haunt in the state of Ohio. So we do a lot of different things. Hey, I'll send you a fun one real quick. We should keep that one for Friday's show, because he's supposed to be on the show, and that's actually his marking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can show it here if you want. But yeah, we have so many different haunters and so many different things. And there's the Grumpy Cat one I sent you. But we're going to get into haunt season. When we get closer, our Chainers Field or our Chainers Haunted Secrets are going to be pre-recorded, and they are going to be premiere episodes. We hope that you guys enjoy the premiere episodes as much as you guys love the live ones, because we do not want to stop them as we go through and do stuff. You know what I mean? Yep, that's the marking for our guest on Friday, and that is the Grumpy Cat one. And most of these are really easy to make into stencils, and that's what these kids like, is that they can make them into stencils, or they can use them on their Cricut machine because they're simplified. And there's actually some of the volunteers that actually take their markings once they have a marking, and they'll put them on their vehicles. They'll put the chainer mark, and then they'll put their mark underneath it, which is awesome. I can't say enough about them. But yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah. We have a chainer mark that actually has two handbells that cross, and it was actually the Battle of the Kettle online, and it was for that, and it was also the Battle of the Kettle for the Salvation Army's ringing bells, because our group takes a full day and we ring the bell, and when we go and we do it, we're really excited because we actually take the time to take out a full day of doing it, and then we turn around, and if that's not good enough, that is usually one of the most profitable buckets in the entire year. Out of all the groups being able to do everything, that bucket that day is usually the most profitable, because we interact with people, we talk to them, and we hand out a whole bunch of candy canes. So yes, we sugar up your children. And you know what? If I find some sugar-free candy canes, I'm getting those for all the diabetic people, because they get kind of grumpy. Well, I can't have this, but maybe I can give it to my grandson. Well, yeah, if I find a diabetic candy cane, here we go. You get one now.
That is awesome.
Friday, do you have any stories? Because I feel bad I've been taking over this entire podcast.
I wanted to tell you one of my favorite stories about my dad. So
Awesome, go for it.
Tinkerer. He loved to take things and combine them. And one day he traded for like 3 lawnmowers and a dune buggy. And he took it out to the back roads, and he hooked up all 3 lawnmower motors to the dune buggy. And he wanted to see how fast he could make the thing go down the road. He lost his glasses about part way. It was going so fast.
Oh,
and I just love the idea of being able to take anything and make something else.
Right.
And he'd do random things. Like he traded for like 8 bicycles, and I took enough parts from all of them and made 2 new ones so my sister and I could have a working bicycle.
Oh.
And I think my favorite of the stories that I can't believe is true, but I wish it was, or it might be, and nobody can prove it. You've seen how John Wayne paddles in a boat, right?
Right.
He paddles on one side.
Right.
So my dad and my uncle are out on the lake fishing, and they're trying to get to their favorite spot, and the motor breaks. So one is paddling like John Wayne, and he keeps saying, "This works in the movies. Why isn't it working now?" And the other one's trying to fix the motor. They're going in pretty good circles, and he finally gets the motor fixed, and it jump starts just in time, and they shoot up in a tree. And I wish I could find out whether or not it's plausible, and if they did it. I doubt it, but were we wanting to show these pictures?
These are for Friday. because
Okay,
he
they're
just
there.
starts sending me stuff. I know. I'm like saying this, and we've been waiting for this. This confirms that we have him coming on the show on Friday now because he just sent me all these wonderful photos.
Okay.
And if you want, we can show one of them just to let everybody see who's going to be on the show on Friday.
Well, I don't know which one you want to show, but give me a minute and I'll have the rest of them up.
Right. But yeah, as tomorrow is the 4th of July, I don't think we have a show tomorrow evening, right?
No.
So the next show will be Chainer's Haunted Secrets, which is awesome. And I'm super excited because I just can't wait for this guest to actually
Okay.
let's see here.
Which one am I missing? I'm trying to figure that out.
The one of him standing in front or behind the monster. I know that one's missing.
Behind the monster.
And that's probably going to be the one that we show here.
The one behind the monster. Okay.
There we go. So, as he has officially just sent us the information, I am super excited because I was worried that he forgot or something would go on. But now I can officially say that Maximus Christian Bryant, the president of OHA, will be on Friday's show. And I'm excited because, yeah, I know here we have a big weekend with the 4th of July, and I was making sure that he was going to be able to make it because, you know, holiday plans do change. But, yep, we got this wonderful guy, and boy, is he a wonderful guy. I just can't wait for him to be on the show on Friday. That's also a picture. If you haven't guessed, that is a picture from Midwest Haunters Convention. And some of the prop people actually make these giant displays. That way you have a photo opportunity. So, yeah. But sorry for the delay on that one. But Jenny, you got anything else?
Anything else? No, not really. I was wondering how much longer you wanted to go. I'm good at stopping at this mark due to the previous comment I left you.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, and you know, sometimes padded cells do go on and on and on. But my little budsy does have a 5K run to run into tomorrow for a 4th of July, and I hope it's not going to be super muggy for him. And I hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. If you are watching this and you're not in this country, 4th of July is just our way to celebrate our independence. Our country's fought for our independence, and we want to celebrate it every single year by blowing a chunk of it up in the sky. And you get pretty lights. So if we ain't got nothing else, I am more than happy to close out this wonderful padded cell. You got anything else, Doctor?
Nah. Nope. You can find me at all the usual places.
Raz is not here tonight, so I'm going to use his line. Where can you find me? at your mom's house eating the pancakes. But you know what? I don't do it nearly as good as Raz. So I will tell you
Now I
that
have
you
a
can find
question.
me. What's that?
Do you understand what that phrase actually means?
Yes. Yes, I do. Oh yes. Me and him had multiple conversations on how funny and terrifying that could be. As bad
Especially
as
my mom.
it's yeah. You know, I used to tell people you can find me here right now, but can you do me a favor and ask your mom for my wallet? I left it on the nightstand.
Well, considering how long that since where she is, I have a that leaves questions. I didn't know you went that way.
Necrophiliac. Hey. Can't say you don't like it till you try it. Oh man. Hey, you guys all have yourself a wonderful evening, but I am Pyle Hazard. You can find me here on the Allight Network on wonderful shows like The Padded Cell or Tomb of the Terrible or Chainer's Haunted Secrets, where I will be the host. And I can't wait until this upcoming episode. You can also find me on TikTok. Oh, jeez. Adam's comment, crack open a cold one.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy, you can find me here on TikTok. You can even find me on Facebook if you really want to. And you know what? Sometimes I randomly give away prizes. And we're coming up to that point, and I have free tickets that are officially printed. So maybe we'll start giving away free tickets on Chainer's Haunted Secrets. How's that sound, Friday?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, so if you're here in the central west side of Ohio, feel free to send a message when we have Chainer's Haunted Secrets. And you know what? I do have a telephone over there. Maybe I'll give out a phone number and people can call it. I mean, I always like listening to the voicemails on it. And in fact, my phone told me I need to start using it more often. It's not happy at me. But you guys all have yourself a... Huh?
If you want voicemails, I got 3 people to help give interesting voicemails.
All right.
One
all right.
might even ask you what type of fish you are.
Oh, dude, we can do this. We can do this. Okay. Here we go. Because I learned some stuff here a couple months ago. And yes, after we do this, we are going to say our goodbyes, but I'm getting this created right now, and you guys will be able to have this and see if I did it right.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I do. Because that is the phone number for Chainer's Field of Screams. That phone goes out to the field. That phone is right here, right beside me, and it is down in the laboratory. So whenever we start doing this whole thing that we're going to go ahead and start giving stuff away, that is what we're going to do. So we hope that you enjoyed tonight's show, and hopefully you scribbled that number down, because I'm sure that we're going to be using that number as we do Chainer's Haunted Secrets. So yeah. Oh, and there it's gone. So Dr. Friday, I think you got it.
I got it.
If you don't got it, you could ask me. I'll just send it to you. But for everybody that's watching these shows, I hope that you guys all enjoy yourself. And I can't wait to have people randomly call and leave voicemails and this. It's got to be a lot better than the telemarketers that call that number. And yeah, so you guys all have yourself a wonderful evening, and don't forget to smile. Jenny, do you want to say anything? Just bye.
You know where to find me. I like to be in certain gardens. Come find me there.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
So bye everybody. Oh wait. There. I can see my